Here he is, the one, the only...
Hello, you vast unseen audience out there. And thank you for letting me come into your homes. I don't mean tonight, I mean over the weekend while you're away. George, what's cooking?
Well, why don't we see what the secret word is?
I'm hungry.
Is that what you mean, what's cooking?
Yeah. Okay, bring it down. This is the secret word.
The duck,
And if any of our couples say it, they win an extra $100.
In the old days, you had to shift gears with clumsy controls like this. Wasn't easy. Later, the gear shift moved up in the world to the steering column. And then automatic transmissions brought complicated dials and levers that were impressive, but sometimes confusing. But now, here's the quickest, smoothest, easiest method of drive selection ever invented. DeSoto's great new push-button driving. A positive mechanical control. To put the car in any driving range, just push a button and go. DeSoto push-button driving is safer, too. It's out of children's reach, and it's designed so you can't make a mistake. Push-button driving is easier and safer. And to see just how fast and smooth it is, watch this professional stunt driver. Now, push-button driving is such an obvious improvement. Competing cars will imitate it next year or the year after. But DeSoto has push-button driving now. So why wait? Tomorrow, drive a beautiful new DeSoto with push-button driving. You can enjoy the best this summer. Drive and price a DeSoto tomorrow.
Groucho, Steve Wayne is sort of champing at the bit to talk with you. An unfortunate...
Champing at the bit? What is it, a horse?
Well, Steve Wayne is out there waiting to talk to you.
He isn't champing at anything.
No, he stopped champing now. And his partner is Audrey Kaufman. She's our lovely young housewife.
She champing, too?
No, she's just standing out there. Because she's actually seeking the title of Mrs. Housing Development of the United States. You may
back
not believe
there?
that, but that's true. She's from Amarillo,
She's taking
Texas.
it back there?
No.
She won't get her back there, I'm sure.
We'll never get her out here if you don't let me finish either. So why don't you folks
I'm not
come
sure
in
that I want her out
meet
here.
Groucho Marx now.
How do you do?
Hey,
Welcome to television's finest hour. Say the secret word, and you spend an extra $100. That's pretty good, huh?
Yes, very good.
Steve Wayne and Audrey Kaufman, huh? Audrey, you're from Gorilla, Texas?
Amarillo, Texas.
Amarillo.
Yes.
Now, are you living in a housing development there, Miss Kaufman, Mrs. Kaufman?
Yes.
You're a Mrs., huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
We live in the...
Obviously, you're married. Huh?
Yes.
Do you like living in Amarillo?
Yes, I do very much. However, I didn't like it too well at first, but after
well, where did you spring from?
From Montana.
Oh, from Montana?
Yes.
Well, how
Montana.
did you get to Texas?
Well, my husband was transferred with an insurance company.
He was in the Army?
No, he was... No, he wasn't.
In the insurance business?
Yes, sir.
Has he sold a policy to anyone you know?
Yes, he sold most all of our friends, and he's even sold me a $12,000 policy, and I'm real hard to sell.
He sold you a policy?
Yes, $12,000.
Well, who was the beneficiary?
He is.
Well,
who else?
When you go to bed at night, be sure to have a 45 under the pillow. And don't turn out the lights either.
Okay.
Now, your name is Steve Wayne, huh?
That's right, that's my name.
What's that?
I say that's my name, yes, sir.
Well, I just said that was your name. I mean,
Well, I wanted to agree with you,
well,
yes,
there's
so
no
that's my
point
name.
in going over it over and over again. Where are you from? Are you from Montana, too?
No, sir, I was born in St. Augustine, Florida, the oldest city in the United States, and when I was 9 years old, I moved to Baltimore, Maryland.
How did you know it was the oldest city in the United States?
Well, that's where Ponce de Leon went to look for the Fountain of Youth. And
Yeah,
when
and
I
he
was
died right after that, didn't he?
Well, there's a Fountain of Youth there.
There
and,
is?
Yes,
Yeah.
When I was in Baltimore, I had a lot of difficulty in school there. And,
What was the matter?
I don't know, it seemed like I was always getting into trouble. In fact, I was suspended 16 times in my senior year for
You
cutting...
mean in midair?
Yes, sir.
Why did they let you keep coming back? Why didn't they just throw you out for keeps?
I guess they just liked me.
Were you a good student? I mean, in those few times that you were in there?
No, sir, I wasn't. In fact, when I went in the Army, in my one exam, I got a 98, and I wrote home to my mother that I'd gotten 98, and she said, "Is this your temperature, or is this an exam mark?"
She knew you pretty well.
Yes,
huh?
sir. My mother knows me very well.
What happened? Did they elect you president of the student body?
No, sir. In fact, I was voted the guy least likely to succeed in school.
Well, I hope you haven't disappointed them, huh? I suppose you fooled them and made $1 million, huh?
No, in fact, I haven't made a dime in 8 months.
Well, you were an inspiration to the youth of America.
Why not?
Well, why haven't you made any money? Do you dislike work?
Well,
you
I
look
went
prosperous.
I went into a new business.
You look handsome, you look prosperous, and you're quite loquacious.
All flash and no cash.
Was that you?
That's me.
You shouldn't say that with an attractive girl alongside of you.
Married.
One has to take those chances.
I know.
Well, you're a lovely couple, charming, both of you, handsome. And if you don't get married, you're crazy. By the way, you know our Mrs. Housing Development judges are very anxious to see you in a bathing suit before you leave, so you be thinking about it, huh? Because I'm thinking of it all the time. Well, we're going to give you a chance to win some money. George, what category have they chosen?
Motion picture Oscar Awards, right? Four chances to make a total of $500.
Mm-hmm. Do I pick one? Is that...
Either one of you, fine.
Oh, sorry.
That may be a
This
good
is a $200.
All right, sir.
Who is the veteran character actor who has won Oscars for his supporting roles in Come and Get It, Kentucky, and The Westerner? So you can talk it over with your lady fair there. Lady Bird.
Oh, no. This is a character actor, the old man. Walter Brennan.
Walter Brennan is right. You now have two. You have now have $200.
Right.
Don't you think we work well together?
This time, you have 200 and 3 more chances to make a total of 5. And you're taking another $200 one.
Who won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in 1957 for her role in Sayonara?
Was this the little Japanese girl? Mm-hmm. What was her name? Actress or actor?
Actress.
Actress? Little Japanese girl. Not Yamaguchi.
George, you're from the Orient. You read it.
Mayoshi Umeki.
Umeki, very good sentence, Harold.
Now, you have...
I see you need it.
you have $200 and 2 more chances to make a total of 5. So all is certainly not lost yet. There's another $200 one.
For $200, what actor took the Oscar for 2 consecutive years for Captains Courageous and Boys Town?
Spencer Tracy.
Spencer Tracy. You now have $400.
And 1 more chance to make a total of 5. And that's the smart way to do it, because those are easier.
Under here?
Oh, here, under here, yes.
You must look, George.
Yes, I should.
Be alert.
You have it upside down.
Well, this happens to be a Japanese question. 1959, one picture won 9 separate awards, including Best Picture. What was the picture?
Huh? Gigi?
In 59?
1959.
Gigi.
Google it. Yeah, Gigi.
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 Google.
Gaga.
Yeah, Gaga.
And you have $500, which means you'll be back later to try for $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000.
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you.
This is the California desert, a real desert of deep, loose sand, treacherous, soft shoulders, blistering heat. And this is a lovely 1954 DeSoto Automatic on the desert road. Now watch. We're driving this DeSoto Automatic out into the sand. In an ordinary car, it would be almost impossible to move or steer in this type of sand. Watch this, though. The world's newest and finest fully automatic transmission, Power Flight transmission, lets the DeSoto Automatic accelerate smoothly, steadily, evenly with great power, even here. And steering is simple. even through heavy, treacherous sand, with DeSoto full-time power steering. The power steering that works for you all the time, makes turning the steering wheel as easy as dialing a phone. There are hundreds of reasons why this lovely 1954 DeSoto deserves the name automatic. Reasons you should discover for yourself. Go to your DeSoto Plymouth dealer soon. See and drive the beautiful, stylish, distinctive 1954 DeSoto Automatic. It's available in two full series, the mighty 170 horsepower Fire Dome 8 and the brilliant PowerMaster 6. Convince yourself that this year, DeSoto puts you ahead automatically. Groucho, Lily Knighton and Judy Krotzer are standing by, so folks come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Well. Welcome, and say the secret word and divide an extra $100. Now, you're Lily Knighton, huh? That's Lillye. Is that right? And you're Judy Krotzer, huh?
Yes, all right.
Well, you're awfully young to have a name like that. How old are you?
16.
16, huh? It's a wonderful age. You're just getting your first real look at the world, aren't you?
That's right.
Maybe if you close your eyes, things won't seem so bad. Where are you from, Judy?
I was born in Orange, Texas, but I've lived in California.
You were born in
most of my
Orange,
life.
Texas?
That's right.
I played in Orange, Texas.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. In the boarding house, we lived there, and they gave us chili for breakfast, dinner, and supper. 21 meals. I had chili for every meal. Now, Lily, where are you from originally? From the valley?
Monticello,
Lily,
Arkansas.
Where?
Monticello, Arkansas.
Monticello. I beg your pardon. Monticello is in Virginia. That's where Thomas Jefferson lived.
Well, they
Were you
have-
born on a farm?
No, in a log cabin.
In a log cabin. You're not Abraham Lincoln, huh? Where'd you go when you left Monticello, Arkansas?
Oh, to Cleveland, Mississippi.
Cleveland is now in Mississippi, huh?
Yes.
When I was a boy, Cleveland was in Ohio. Where do you live now?
Little Rock, California.
Well, that's more like it. I remember when Little Rock was in Arkansas. Things have certainly changed since I went to school, and I guess it's all for the best, huh? Do you have a job, Lily, or are you a housewife?
I'm a school teacher.
Oh, well, that explains why Cleveland is no longer in Ohio. Judy, I assume you go to school, is that right?
Yes,
Huh?
I'm an
You
A11.
go to school, or are you a delinquent, huh?
No.
Now, Lily, since you're a school teacher, you must be quite worried about today's youngsters and their education, or lack of it. Aren't you worried?
No, not at all.
Right.
I think that the children today learn more than they did years ago.
That's true, but what about in school?
And I mean in school, too.
Do they bring you apples?
Oh, yes.
Why do they always bring apples? Don't they? They never bring a watermelon or anything.
Yes, I've had them bring melons, too, and
Oh.
pumpkins.
Pumpkin?
Thanksgiving time.
But you say that the children nowadays are much brighter than the children were when I went to school?
Yes, I think they learn more today.
Well, you ask me any question, you know.
Any question?
Well, you know, within reason, a question that I would conceivably know. I dare you. Ask an old question, you know,
Well,
like the old school I went to. This is the old school tie, yeah.
what did they do at the First Continental Congress?
That's too easy. Ask me something difficult. They just, like any other Congress, they take free trips to Europe and put their relatives on the payroll and they raise the taxes. Right?
No, that isn't right.
Apparently, you don't know much about congressmen. All right, Judy, you answer. You're one of the modern school children.
Well, that was when we didn't want to pay England taxes because we didn't have a representative in their parliament.
That's pretty good. Was she right?
Yes, she's right.
Well, that wasn't a fair question. Ask me one about baseball.
I'm afraid I don't know much about sports. I'll ask you another.
You don't know anything about sports? Are you married?
Oh, something.
Lily, are you married?
No.
No. You've never been out with a sport?
I don't think so.
Now, Lily? Lily?
Ask you another question.
Yeah. Not until you answer mine, huh? Lily, you rascal, you know you've been out with some gay blades in your... Well, ask me another one.
All right.
You keep out of this.
What is the atmosphere made of?
You mean around here, you mean? Well, in L.A., the atmosphere is composed of smoke from hamburger burning to a crisp on backyard barbecue. That's on a clear day. On a bad day, I wouldn't know because I get out of town. What's another question?
Well, let me
Make
ask
it
you-
easy, will you?
Okay.
Some time since I went to school.
How many layers of skin do you have?
You don't see that on Queen for a day. Now, would you each won $50 because the secret word was,
Skin.
what was the question that you asked me?
I ask you how many layers of skin you have.
I don't have any. I have a shell like a coconut. I don't know. I have 15, I think. How many
Yes.
layers do you have, Judy?
3.
3. How did you know that?
I took science.
Now, Lily, these are pretty tough questions you asked me. What college courses do you teach?
I teach the 5th grade in the elementary school.
Oh. No wonder I didn't know them. Now, Judy, I'm sure you're no different than millions of other girls your age. So you must have a favorite singer, don't you?
Yeah.
Who is he? Who's your favorite singer?
I like Fabian.
Fabian? What is that? Is that a new kind of bubble gum?
No, it's the greatest.
The greatest what? Fabian, Judy, listen to me. Fabian is a form of socialism. Isn't that true? You look that up and you'll find out that Fabian was an early form of socialism in England. Now you know about the real Fabian.
He's the
Now,
greatest.
what is this? What?
Greatest.
Who?
Fabian.
This bubble gum chewer that you're talking about? Well, I give up. You have your Fabian and I'll have mine, huh? As long as we don't go to the same church. Now, why are you so hipped on Fabian?
Because he
What has Fabian got that George Bernard Shaw didn't have?
Well, I like him because he winked at me and he's good looking.
Well, what happened when he winked at you? Did that do something to you chemically?
Yes, before the show, my mother had told me, don't make a fool of yourself.
No.
Don't scream and scratch your face and everything. So I kind of kept it to myself, but I got kind of jumpy. But I didn't let it show.
Did anybody scream?
Yes, it was middle-aged people.
What do you regard as a middle-aged woman? Approximately what age? 22?
Oh, no, that's quite... about 38 to 40.
They can hardly walk then. Must be tough for them to get around.
No, they get around quite well.
They do. Huh? Did they get around Fabian after the show was over? Let me ask you, did your mother scratch herself while Fabian was singing? Huh?
No, it didn't faze her.
Well, what does that do? Why do you scratch yourself? When you
I
hear
guess
somebody...
it's just an impulse. I mean, this is a natural thing. I mean, when you see a good-looking woman, don't you...
Scratch
sort of-
myself? No. Judy, when I scratch myself, it's for other reasons. I'm scratching myself nearly all the time. I don't have to wait and see a pretty girl. Do you always get jumpy inside when a male member of the theatrical profession winks at you?
Oh, yes.
Suppose I winked at you. Would that do anything to you?
Well, wink at me. I didn't feel a thing.
Well, I'll tell you what it did to me. I'm starting to scratch myself. Well, you're both cute chicks, and it's been fun talking to you. Now, let's see how smart you really are when the chips are down. George, would you bring the quiz out here for the school mom and this potential Mrs. Fabian? Is he single, Fabian?
Oh, yes.
Would you, if he popped the question instead of his gum, would you consent to marry him?
Oh, I don't think so.
No? Why
No.
not? Can you imagine if you were sitting home alone on the couch with he had his arm around you, and you were watching Walter Brennan? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Wish my daughter could get him. What are you laughing at? Then I could quit working. Well, what category had they chosen there?
Cities and small towns of the United States, right?
Judy, you pick the first one.
And you start with the 200?
Would you marry a girl if she was as pretty as a picture?
I think so, yes.
That's not the answer.
Oh, isn't it?
Would you marry a girl if she was as pretty as a picture?
Yes, if she had a nice frame.
I just wanted to prove to you, anybody can be funny. All they need is the right joke. For $200, in what state are Baker, Salem, and Medford? Baker, Salem, and Medford.
We differ one. Bedford, Massachusetts.
Washington.
I'm sorry, it's Oregon. Well, so far you've got nothing.
3 more chances to make a total of $500. Another 2?
In what state are Newport, Owensboro, and Covington? Owensboro, Covington, Newport. Come on, kids. You only get so much time. Newport, Owensboro, and Covington.
All right, you say it. Indiana.
Indiana?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. I'll take
Now you have 2 more chances.
Now, you've got to decide on one answer between you. In what state are Daly City, Haywood, and San Leandro? Daly City, Haywood, and San Leandro.
California.
California.
All right. We have a benevolent...
Actually, we shouldn't have given it to you because the bell had rung. But we realize that you're going steady and you need the money.
You have $200, 1 more chance to make a total of 5, and you've taken 3, and that'll do it if you get it right.
This is a tough one, you know, the $300 one. For $300, in what state are Hampton, Fairfax, and Portsmouth? Hampton, Fairfax, Portsmouth.
New Jersey? No.
There it is. Virginia.
Hampton, New Jersey.
Well, I'm sorry that you only won $200, but you're leaving here with more than you came in here with. So that isn't too bad. So, you got the secret word? Then you have you had $300. Yes. See, that's $150 apiece. It's not a bad night's work for a little girl who was going steady. Are you going steady, too?
No, yes,
Well-
with 31 children.
Oh, good. That's right.
Whether you want a dependable car for that son in college, a second car for your wife's shopping trips, or a late model low mileage family car, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer can serve you. He has used cars for every purse and purpose. So if you're in the market for a good used car at a really fair price, you'll be wise to hurry to your nearby DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And when you're there, look for the used cars bearing this TV sticker. TV stands for top value. Remember, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer is the only place in town where you can get top value used cars.
Now, Groucho, here's Steve Wayne, who with his partner, Audrey Kaufman, earned $500 in the quiz, and they're all set to try for the big question now.
Oh.
But first, as we promised, for the benefit of our judges in the beauty contest, here's Audrey Kaufman as Mrs. Housing Development of Amarillo, Texas.
Well, Audrey, perhaps you'll be the one who wins the title of Mrs. Housing Development of the United States. Whoever wins the title gets another trip back to Hollywood with her husband and wins the grand prize, a brand new Ford Falcon station wagon. Now, let's see if you can win the big money. That's more important at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You understand this game?
We're
You
supposed
each
to
pick a number. Now, you pick one for $10,000. And
We
what
pick
number?
We pick
From
number
1 to
3
10.
first.
you pick number 3 for $10,000, and you pick what for $5,000?
4.
You split the money, so it doesn't make any difference. Now, one of you spin the wheel, and if neither of these numbers turns up, then you're going for a total of $2,000. Ready? Well, your numbers were 4 and 3, and you landed on 5, so here we go for a total of $2,000. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's see how well you remember your high school geometry.
Oh,
For $2,000, what do you call the long side of a right triangle? Talk it over.
long side of the right triangle. The angle equal opposite. Angle equal opposite. The long line.
If you don't know, guess. Come on. Time's...
Hypothesis? Hypotheses? No. Hypothesis? Hypotheses?
Okay, close enough. It's hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse.
You were so close, so you have to give it to him.
Oh.
Now, you each have $1,000. What are you going to do with that swag?
Well, I'm going to go to Honolulu and visit my son that I haven't seen for a couple of years.
Oh, how old is he?
He's 12.
Well, that's a worthy mission. And you? Why don't you go and visit his son? He's 12 years old.
Sounds fine.
Well, congratulations.
Did learn something
And
in
thanks,
school after all.
yes,
Thank
you
you
did.
very much.
You're
Thank
quite
you.
welcome.